My bad for the long wait on some of these videos, but in cases where courts are involved, it's inevitable that there's going to be delays in what I can and can't say. But now the time has come to where things are swiftly moving and I can say more. This is going to be a rather short video, and I want to get directly to the point. Carrie Madej killed my grandfather, Stefan Suto. This is not an allegation, it's not a rumor, it's not an opinion, it is a legally backed fact. If you know anybody who still follows this fraud, please share this video to them and share this video within Carrie Madej's circles. I strongly encourage you to go watch my initial video on this. It's on my YouTube channel at Ethan Suto if you're watching this on another platform, where I detail some of the evidence supporting my claims and where I go through the lawsuit that my family filed against Carrie Madej for killing my grandfather. We won that lawsuit by default judgment after Carrie Madej decided to join the sovereign citizen movement and refused deliberately to show up to any court proceedings. I want to remind everybody, including some of her defenders, that this is not a defense. Under the law, especially when with accusations as serious as wrongful death, the defendant must show up to court proceedings. Failure to do so means the law treats you as guilty, and that is exactly what happened. Carrie Madej was found liable for killing my grandfather. She injected my grandfather with 21 milliliters of hydrogen peroxide and then nebulized him with 2 milliliters of hydrogen peroxide to 0.5 milliliters of water. That's what she claimed. It could have very well been stronger in that nebulizer, but nonetheless, she admitted to the formula that was multitudes times stronger than what anyone in natural medicine circles, not that I endorse them, by the way. I have to make that additional point clear, but then what anybody in natural medicine circles would even consider nebulizing themselves. Carrie Madej even injected my stepfather and my mother with the same formula of peroxide, 21 milliliters, and my family has had to deal with no physician wanting to go near my stepfather or my mother. They've been left to deal with some of their symptoms, particularly vascular symptoms, entirely on their own. I've been in the room when my mom discussed her symptoms with physicians and watched them turn into meek cowards who dismiss her, saying that they don't want anything to do with her, that they don't want to get involved in legal proceedings, rather than trying to actually assess her symptoms and treat her. Carrie Madej would then go on to claim that there was no case against her, which was also disproven in my previous video. Well, there's actually more than just a case against her now. It is now a final judgment. Ladies and gentlemen, without waiting any longer, here is the short and sweet judgment against killer doctor Carrie Madej. Alright, as you can see here, I'm just gonna make it a little bit bigger so that it's easier for you guys to read it. You can see that this is a real court case in the 9th Judicial District for the state of Tennessee, which covers Morgan County. You can see here, it is my stepfather, my mother, and the estate of my grandfather versus Carrie Madej. And this is basically the final judgment. I once again strongly encourage you to go look at my previous video because that's where I show the default judgment, the document, and it's linked in the description there, and I'll probably link it in the description here too, that shows that she is guilty for what she did, that she is liable, that there's no question about it. This is the judgment. This is the final sort of document in this proceeding in regards to her guilt in this matter, I guess you could say. This will be linked in the description below. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's basically the judge saying that, he oversaw the case, allowed the defendant, Madej in this case, to have, it appears, about 7 months to present any countervailing proof against the plaintiff's claim for damages. She provided none. She decided to ignore the courts and just basically give a middle finger to the courts. And pretty much here it is. The estate of Stefan Suto is to receive $181,000 in compensatory damages and $1 million in punitive damages. Yana Benoon, my mother, is to receive $100,000 in compensatory damages, and $50,000 in punitive damages. All court costs are taxed against the defendant, for which execution may issue if necessary. And you can see that this was made on the 19th of May, 2025, signed by the judge, approved by our attorney, Mr. Cantrell there. I also just want to show this paragraph that was in the judge's opinion, which is another long document that basically just details a whole bunch of legalese and, like, why this is a wrongful death and why it's this type of wrongful death, blah, blah, blah. But the real sort of paragraph that I want to highlight in that entire document would be this. And it's where the judge says, here, Dr. Madej's conduct was intentional, reckless, and grossly negligent and led to the death of Mr. Suto. Having considered, as you can see, the Tennessee law, that's where the judge basically says that he's going to award $1 million in punitive damages to the estate of my grandfather for what Dr. Madej did to him. And the judge also acknowledges as well that Dr. Madej's treatment of my mother was also intentional, reckless, grossly negligent, and led to my mother's PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. I will be speaking more on this in the coming weeks, but there's one thing I really want to get out of the way, and I'm speaking on behalf of my whole family here, including my stepfather, Steve. This video might be posted on his channel too, or at the very least, he'll upload a preview of it, I'm sure. This $1.28 million, since that's what it totals up to in the award, the money means very little to us, for more reasons than one. First of all, it's unlikely we're even going to see any of it. Carrie Madej had no medical malpractice insurance, and that's that. And second of all, we didn't file this lawsuit against Carrie Madej for money. We filed it for justice. To us, getting the highest punitive damage award, to our knowledge, in the jurisdiction of East Tennessee, if our attorney is correct and if I understood him correctly from what I've heard, it's symbolic. Almost everybody who files lawsuits in cases involving conduct as serious as this, wrongful death, they don't file them for money. They file it for justice because the damages are there to signify that what happened was wrong. It's an acknowledgement in the legal system that wrongdoing must be punished, that justice must occur. And this is why we filed a lawsuit against Carrie Madej, as well as to be able to speak publicly now about what happened and show the world this judgment if Carrie Madej ever tries to deny what she did. She can't. She can't deny it anymore. It's a fact. If anything, our family lost money during this endeavor. The psychological, emotional, social, and financial toll getting justice for my grandfather has taken on my family and is continuing to take on the family is difficult to comprehend. The entire truth is going to come out because the past few years have been us gradually losing any drop of trust there was to have in the system that claims to protect the innocent and the vulnerable in the United States of America. And though we are still all holding on to threads of which I won't discuss, for the most part, it's becoming more imperative to start speaking out. Stay tuned for more videos coming soon. I ask that you please subscribe to my channel with notifications on. I can't promise anything consistent. I can only provide updates when I'm able to. But from the way things are going, it looks like I might start posting a little bit more frequently.